she stammered. It felt like I remembered something that never happened. Dominic's eyes darkened. That's not nothing, Lena. Ibri, her hands trembled. What's happening to me? He stood and took a slow step closer. Maybe the universe doesn't make mistakes after all. The next morning, Rosa brought her breakfast, and a warning. Be careful, she said softly. This house remembers things better left forgotten. Abrifer, what do you mean? Ibri. Rosa hesitated, glancing at the door. Mr. Russo has enemies, and not all of them are outside. Abrifer, that sent a chill down Lena's spine. Later, she wandered the halls, each room filled with reminders of a life lost. Portraits, vases, the faint scent of perfume that still lingered on the staircase. Then she found it. A locked door at the end of the corridor. Something about it pulled her in. She tried the handle. Locked. Don't go in there, a voice said behind her. She turned. Dominic. His tone was calm, but his jaw was tight. What's in there? She asked. He looked away. My past. Her curiosity burned, but she said nothing. Days passed. Slowly, the mansion didn't feel like a prison anymore. Dominic started having breakfast with her. Short, quiet moments where he'd ask simple things. Did you sleep? Are you eating enough? Ibrig, does the baby need anything? Sibrifa, it felt almost normal. Dangerous, but normal. One morning he walked her through the garden. Roses, perfectly trimmed, their scent heavy in the air. Isabella loved this place, he said softly. She said flowers reminded her that even beauty needs thorns. She sounds like someone worth loving, Lena said. He stopped walking. His gaze softened. She was. Ibriferai. Their eyes met. The silence stretched. Something unspoken passed between them. Something fragile, dangerous, and real. He looked away first. You should rest. Ebrahi Dominic, she said softly. He turned back. I don't know what you're trying to find in me, she said, but I'm not her. Ibrahi nodded slowly. Maybe not, but she led me to you. That night, she woke to a noise, footsteps, not Dominic's, lighter, faster. She got up, heart racing, and followed the sound down the hall. The locked door at the end was open. She hesitated, then stepped inside. It was a nursery, old, untouched. Dusty toys, a crib with a blanket still folded inside. On the wall, a mural of stars and a name painted in faded letters, Isabella's Hope. Her throat tightened. Behind her a voice said, You shouldn't be here. Ibrig, she turned. Dominic stood in the doorway, eyes unreadable. I'm sorry, she said quickly. I heard something. Ibrig, he stepped inside, his expression softer now. I couldn't bring myself to close this room. Ibrig, Lena looked around. You were going to be a father. Ibrig, he nodded once. And I never got the chance. Ibrig, for a long time neither spoke. The air between them was heavy with ghosts. Then he said quietly, When you sent that ultrasound, it felt like fate was mocking me. Then I saw your face and I couldn't walk away. Abrahid Dominic. Abrahid, he took a slow step closer. You've turned my world upside down, Lena, and I don't even know if I should thank you or hate you for it. Kibri, her chest ached. Maybe both. Their eyes locked. A storm meeting still water. He was so close now she could feel the warmth of him, the steady rhythm of his breath. Tell me to stop, he whispered. She didn't. But before the moment could break, a knock echoed down the hall. Boss, a voice called. We found something. Dominic stepped back, his mask sliding back into place. Stay here, he said. Don't open the door for anyone. And then he was gone, leaving her alone in a room filled with memories of a love that refused to die. Hours later he returned, eyes darker, jaw tight. What happened? She asked. He poured himself a drink. They found a file. Someone's been digging into your background. Stibre, her stomach twisted. Who? Hebrefree, I don't know yet, he said. But whoever it is, they want me to doubt you. Abraham, doubt me? She said softly. Dominic, I didn't ask for any of this. I know, he said. People like me can't afford coincidences. She stepped closer. Then why keep me here? He looked at her, truly looked, and said, Because I can't stand the thought of losing you too. Abri, her breath caught. He set his glass down and turned away. Get some rest. Tomorrow might not be as calm. That night, Lena sat by the window, staring at the city lights below. Each spark felt like a heartbeat, steady, alive, fragile. She touched the locket again, feeling that strange warmth pulse through her fingers. Somewhere deep inside, she knew. Whatever connected her to Dominic, it wasn't over. It was only beginning. Morning came wrapped in fog. The mansion was too quiet. Lena woke to the sound of hushed voices outside her door. She sat up, pulling the blanket closer. Her body had finally started to show small changes, subtle, gentle signs of the life growing inside her. She placed a hand over her stomach, whispering softly, "You're safe. I'll keep you safe. Ebrr." Then the voices stopped, and Dominic's knock came a second later. "Come in," she said. He entered wearing a charcoal suit, expression carved from steel. But his eyes softened the moment he saw her. "You didn't sleep again," he said quietly. "I tried," she replied. "Did something happen?" He hesitated. "Someone's been following the people connected to you. Old co-workers, neighbors." Hebrina's chest tightened. "Why?" "To see if you're who you say you are," he said. "To find out who's behind you." "But there's no one behind me," she protested. "Dominic, I'm not part of your world." He walked closer, stopping just a foot away. "You are now." Her pulse jumped. "You can't just decide that for me." His voice lowered. "You didn't decide to send that message either. Fate did." Lena stared at him, heart pounding. "I don't even believe in fate." He smiled faintly. "You will." Breakfast was tense. Rosa hovered like a worried mother, but even she couldn't ease the chill hanging over the table. Dominic's phone buzzed twice, each time his expression darkened. Finally, he set his fork down. "I have to go out for a few hours. Stay inside. Don't talk to anyone but Rosa." Dominic. I mean it." She nodded. But the worry in her eyes betrayed her. He hesitated, then leaned closer and placed a hand against her cheek, gentle, protective. "I'll come back," he said, and then he was gone. The hours crawled. Rain fell again, soft at first, then steady. The mansion's silence pressed down on her until it was unbearable. By late afternoon, Lena found herself wandering again, drawn to the one place she wasn't supposed to go. The study. His world lived in that room. Files, maps, photographs, letters. She hesitated at the threshold. Then she saw it. Her name on a folder lying half open on the desk. Her stomach knotted. She knew she shouldn't, but her hands moved anyway. Inside were documents. Hospital records, a birth certificate, and something else. A photo of her as a child. She froze. The corner of the image was stamped with the name Russo Foundation. Her heart started to race. Why would a Mafia family have a record of her childhood photo? The door creaked. "Curiosity," Dominic's voice said behind her, low and dangerous, "isn't always a good thing." She turned quickly, guilt flashing across her face. "You were investigating me." I was protecting you," he corrected. "By digging into my past?" He stepped forward. "By trying to understand why you have a photo that should have burned 8 years ago." She blinked. "What?" He moved closer, lowering his voice. "The foundation was Isabella's project. She sponsored orphanages, medical programs, hospitals. You were in one of them, Lena." She shook her head. "No, my mother raised me alone." His eyes darkened. "Or did she raise you to forget?" Tears burned behind her eyes. "You're wrong." "I wish I was," he said. "But whoever destroyed that car meant to erase both of them, Isabella and her unborn child. Only one body was confirmed." Lena's breath caught. "You think I'm—" He didn't answer. He didn't have to. The truth hit like thunder. If what he was saying was real, then she wasn't just part of his world. She was born from its ashes. She backed away, shaking. "No, I can't be her child." Dominic's voice softened. "I don't know if it's true, But someone out there thinks you are, and that means you're in danger. Ibrich, her head spun. So all this, protecting me, bringing me here, wasn't about me. It was about her. Ibrich, it started that way, he admitted. But it's not anymore. Ibrich, Lena swallowed hard. Then what is it now? Ibrich, he hesitated, the air between them thick with freedom, thick with words unsaid. Unsaid. Finally he whispered, "Now it's about you." That night, lightning clawed across the sky. Dominic hadn't returned to the study. He stayed close to her instead. Silent, tense, protective. They sat by the fire in the grand hall. The flames flickered gold against the shadows. She broke the silence first. "You said someone was watching me." "They still are," he said. "Why?" "Burka, to hurt me," he replied. "They know you're my weakness now." Brihi, her chest tightened. "You barely know me." He turned toward her, eyes burning with something fierce and unspoken. "Sometimes it doesn't take long to recognize what matters." She looked down, heart hammering. "Dominic, you can't keep living like this, always waiting for the next bullet." He smiled faintly, tired. "That's the only way men like me live. But it's no way to love." Her words silenced him. For a long time he didn't move. Then he said softly, "You think I'm capable of that?" "I think everyone is," she whispered. "Even you." Just then, the sound of shattering glass ripped through the mansion. Dominic shot up instantly, gun drawn. "Stay behind me!" More crashes followed. Footsteps, voices shouting in Italian. The guards, the alarm. The house was under attack. He grabbed her hand, pulling her toward the back hallway. "Rosa, get her out," he ordered as the older woman appeared, terrified. "No," Lena said, clutching his arm. "I'm not leaving you. You don't have a choice." A bullet tore through the air, striking the wall inches from her head. She screamed. Dominic fired back, eyes blazing. "Run!" Rosa dragged her toward the side exit. The sound of gunfire echoed through the halls. They stumbled into the rain. But before they could reach the gate, a car screeched around the corner. Black, tinted windows. Men jumped out, guns raised. Lena froze. Then another engine roared, a familiar black car slamming into the attacker's vehicle. Dominic's car. He leapt out, furious and unstoppable, taking down the last man with brutal precision. When it was over, he turned to her, soaked, shaking, eyes burning with worry. "Are you hurt?" he demanded. She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "You could have died." "So could you," he stepped closer, cupping her face in his hands. "So could you." The rain poured harder, soaking them both. The air between them buzzed with adrenaline and something else, something electric. Her voice trembled. "You're insane." He smiled, just barely. "Maybe, but you're the first thing that's made me want to live like I'm not." She swallowed. "Why me, Dominic?" He stared at her, thunder flashing behind him. "Because you remind me that I still have something to lose." Later, back inside, Rosa tended to a cut on his arm while Lena sat nearby, silent, trembling. When Rosa left, the room fell quiet again. Dominic leaned back, exhausted. They knew exactly where to hit. Someone inside fed them information. You think it's someone here?" He nodded slowly. "I've trusted too many ghosts." She hesitated, then said softly, "You don't have to do this alone." He looked at her, disbelief flickering. "You'd stay, after tonight?" She smiled faintly. "You'd be lost without someone to argue with." For the first time he laughed, a low, rare sound that made her heart ache. He reached for her hand. "You should rest." "I can't," she whispered. "Every time I close my eyes, I see it. The attack?" No," she said softly. "You standing in front of me like I mattered." He froze. His fingers tightened around hers. "You do," he said finally. The words hung between them, fragile and dangerous, like glass balanced on a ledge. Hours later, when the house was quiet again, Dominic stood alone by the window, rain still falling outside. He thought about what he'd almost lost. Her. The child, maybe both. He wasn't a man who prayed. But that night, he whispered something to the silence anyway. If there's a way out of this, let it be her. Let her live free. Behind him, the faintest sound. Bare footsteps on the wooden floor. "Dominic?" her voice said softly. He turned. She was standing there, wrapped in one of his shirts, eyes tired but calm. "Couldn't sleep," she said. He smiled faintly. "You're safe now." Sabra, she nodded. "For tonight." They stood there for a long time. Two broken souls beneath a storm neither could control. And somewhere deep down, they both knew. Sure what they felt had already crossed the line from impossible to inevitable.